So I quit my 24/7 motel job in the middle of nowhere and moved all the way to Toronto. Things are going pretty good. I still gotta decorate. I'm starting to really settle into my new life, though. I even got my first full 8 hours sleep in 2 years. And, I mean, it was on an air mattress on the floor, but I ain't complaining. But I am getting a good feel for the people who live here. Back where I used to live, it was a town of about 2,000 people, so most people I'd see around town were pretty racist. Now that I'm in Toronto, everybody's still pretty racist and also won't shut up about Bitcoin. I do feel really out of my element here, though. Every time I walk to a convenience store, I always end up walking by at least a few people talking about their stock portfolios and investments. It's a bit of an adjustment when you're used to living in a place where everybody was a construction worker talking about other things. It is wild to me, though, that I moved 12 hours south of where I used to live, and it's like 10 times colder here just because every street in Toronto is a wind tunnel, so every time I go grocery shopping, I might as well be fighting a hurricane. Thankfully, I'm all holed up inside my cozy apartment for now, so let's answer some of the questions you guys had about my move. What are your favorite places you like to go in Toronto? So far, I like going to La Carnita, Warehouse, and Canton Ramen. I hear weird Toronto foodie people say places like these are overrated or basic, but I used to live in a place where this is what you got when you order garlic bread, so I don't give a shit. Was there anything you liked about the motel? Mainly the free rent, considering Toronto is less affordable to live in than New York City, and nobody would even consider my girlfriend and I as tenants unless we pay multiple months of rent up front, because being an unmarried couple is the equivalent to landlord kryptonite. My wallet's hurting. Also, it was really quiet where I lived. You would step outside the building and just hear nothing. It was really peaceful. Then you step outside in Toronto and... Ever consider working at a motel in Toronto? No. After I quit my job working at the motel, I promised myself I would never work in customer service ever again. I do always feel bad when I walk into my apartment building and see someone yelling at the person working at the front desk. I know what it feels like, but I do my best to help out. Will you do YouTube full-time now? While I would love to do that, I simply need a regular full-time job to afford living here. I'm still looking for a job right now, but considering my resume says I was a manager at a motel with a low star rating and hundreds of bad reviews, I'll probably be searching for a while. How do you feel about your boss from the motel? This might surprise a lot of you, but I actually really liked my boss. He always knew how to spice up my day, whether it be by dumping about 30 satellites next to my back door and telling me to figure out how to use them to steal TV channels, or knocking on my door at 8 in the morning to pour him shots of vodka. Sure, it wasn't exactly normal, but most other jobs aren't either. And lastly, the question everybody seemed to ask, will you change your name now that you're not living in a motel? No, I'm not going to change my channel name. I like the name Man in a Motel, and I think it serves as a great reminder of where I came from and to not mess up while I'm in Toronto, because I'm about one fuck up away from having to move all the way back anyway. I'm excited about what Toronto has in store for me, and it really opens up what I can make videos about. Here's a few examples of videos I'd like to make once I hit certain Patreon goals that wouldn't even be possible to do in the town that I lived in while working the job that I had. It's going to be a lot of fun putting myself out there and really seeing everything the city has to offer. Or maybe I'll just stay inside. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. A special thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. Rent here is expensive, so I really can't thank you guys enough for all the help you've given me. If you'd like to see behind the scenes videos, access to the Discord server, and more, then check me out on there, and I hope you all have a rad day.